dog. I mean in every way. Niggas talk shit, but won't say it to my face. At the studio. Really know I have to catch a case. Niggas play tough, but I really know these niggas cake. Bullets penetrate this every time to give a break. Let some bitches let off. You gon' need a fucking grave. That's what you get for trying to be the fucking face. You all the crazy out loud. This shit have to be this way. Niggas they pretend to be something they will never see. No, I'm not your cuz. You ain't never been a kid to me. You know I'm not going out the game until they injure me. No, you can't have with me. You gon' have to finish me. Catch me while they meditate. Chopper bullets every day. Body parts separate. Ain't no time to call you savior. Getting money is my occupation. Don't speak about compensation. Let's say life is violated. Then I start annihilating. Any fucking nigga hate. Any fucking nigga think he hard. He can be the praises. And my goals to get mad money. See on the wall in the picture. You just a crash dummy. Watch me as I sit back. Level with the tic tac. Got so many rides. You was sworn on 6 flags. So you lame niggas, hurry up and get back to safety on the bliss, man. You gon' need red pads. When you're in the act with faggots, they don't spit the facts. Better get a helmet and a chin strap. Dig that. You said you reach my level, well you never see my level. Big rocks over here, while you tossing little pebbles. I don't pay attention to me, while you throwing simple tattoos. I'm so fascinated by money, it's all my favorite. I'm destined to be the greatest, I'm destined to be the greatest. I'm so full of eating rappers, I need to stay home for later. All I think is I just whip them like a piece of paper. Gotta get this money now, ain't no time to get it later. Life's about what he say, and she say. Sweet niggas keep on talking, he get ate like cheese. Niggas mad because I'm cooler than the breeze. I'm all about my paper like a briefcase. That's the bottom line. You niggas get out of line and I'll be forced to open fire. Knock your body out your mind. You gotta be out your mind. Thinking you should cross the line. I'm just getting started. See, I never even reached my prime. And when it come to bowling, I'm a ball. They ain't really the game. Come false calls. I wrote the whole plate. Even the hard calls. Gotta clock in, work hard. No call lost. I've been doing this for 21 years. And I never shed a tear. For a coward ass queer. So you niggas come near. I'll be forced to unseal a weapon that's concealed. Hot shit, better chill. The opposite unreal. Ask the doctor, I'm ill. And no, I'm not yours, but I'll be forming your grill. The money's what I came for. Don't worry about the lamos. AR-15, the clip full of ammo. I know these niggas unreal. I read their face.